name servers. Once a particular website is requested, a query is sent to a domain name server, which then redirects it to that web address. You probably know how it works. Without these servers, access to website through traditional means, typing in a .com, becomes impossible. So according to this statement released by Anonymous, the hacking group, these servers will come under fire on March 31st, which is on Saturday. And then we have a related article out, the Daily Bell, which asks, Assange and Anonymous as elite helpers. Julian Assange wants to run for public office in Australia, his home country, and Anonymous, who of course are big supporters of Assange, want to destroy the internet, temporarily anyway. We are not surprised. Once more, it would seem Anonymous is acting as a friend as the powers that be, as a friend of the powers that be. So again, we have Anonymous, which, as everyone knows, is completely infiltrated by the feds. Every case where they get busted proves that. A supposedly anarchist group, which with their every action creates further justification for increased state regulation of the internet. Doesn't seem quite how an anarchist group would go about its business. And, you know, Anonymous have made it clear that they don't care who they attack. They've threatened to attack the very people watching their videos on YouTube. You know, they're in it for the lulz, as they say. Most people don't know that INFOWARS was actually attacked by this same group from the lulzsec and the 4chan groups that originated and eventually became Anonymous. They actually attacked INFOWARS a few years ago. So again, questions are swirling as to why this movement, which is so vehemently being infiltrated, is now calling to shut down the entire internet, which will basically provide the likes of Joe Lieberman and the cybersecurity crowd the perfect pretext to make the argument that the West needs to impose Chinese-style internet policing on the World Wide Web. So again, we'll see what happens on Saturday. Sometimes they make big headlines, Anonymous. Sometimes it falls flat on its face. In fact, one of the legitimate targets of their angst was the Bohemian Grove Club, which they'd supposedly arranged a protest against, and, you know, handful of people showed up. So it could either fall flat on its face or it could either cause problems. We will wait and see on Saturday, 31st of March. Next headline on InfoWars Nightly News, birther controversy. Feds refused to release Obama draft card. This is out of InfoWars.com. Steve Watson. A request for original documents by a group investigating the eligibility of President Obama has been turned down by the Selective Service System in a move that is sure to court more controversy. Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio, leader of the probe into the authenticity of the now notorious Obama birth certificate, announced earlier this month that he had cause to believe that Obama's Selective Service registration form was also a forgery. And of course, we've also got the article up on Infowars.com tonight from Patrick Henningsen, who was there on the scene to interview Arpaio and his cold case posse investigators, behind the scenes attempt to kill Arizona's Obama eligibility bill. You can say that properly. So Henningsen is on the scene. He's done the interviews, and basically in this interview, Arpaio slams the media blackout that has taken place around this birth certificate issue. And now it appears that there are shenanigans going on with this bill in Arizona that would force all candidates on the presidential ballot to prove that they are indeed eligible to run for president. People are trying to stop that from getting put through, because if it does get passed, then Obama could be open to perjury charges if he fails to prove his eligibility. So I mean, this issue is only going to get bigger, but as Arpaio has stated, there's a mainstream media lockdown on it. So it remains to be seen whether this bill will be passed with the shenanigans going on there in Arizona. And coming up on tonight's show, we've got interviews with Mike Zullo, Jerome Corsi, of course, Sheriff Arpaio, and the state senator there in Arizona, exploring this bombshell birther issue with Patrick Henningsen, InfoWars reporter, on the scene. So stay tuned for that. You don't have to be a criminal sexual deviant to work for the TSA, but it helps. That's right. The talent pool from which the Transportation Security Administration draws its employees, criminals and perverts, is in the news once again today. Quote, the TSA is under intense scrutiny this week following a congressional hearing to examine the agency's performance, which is why higher-ups will not be pleased to see the headlines thrown up today by a simple online search. And we can barely keep track of the criminality when it comes to the TSA. Some of you will have seen the recent South Park episode with the Toilet Security Administration, and how they portrayed these morons is not far off the mark, because, you know, what kind of people look to get jobs that allow them to perform activities that would otherwise be illegal, unless they were wearing a blue uniform and a badge? Well, of course, that would be criminals. And these are the people groping your children. So we have, in this roll call of TSA criminals just for the past few days, Bryant Jermaine Livingston, arrested for his alleged involvement in a prostitution ring. So he runs a prostitution ring by night. His day job is groping your girlfriend, all for your safety, of course. 34-year-old former TSA screener Andrew Cheever of Boston, this is another one, found to have thousands of child pornography images and videos stored on his home computer. He's just been busted for that. That's what he does at night. In the day, he's groping your kids. And then there's the case of 2 TSA officers gone wild who got drunk, trashed a South Beach hotel room, then picked up a semi-automatic handgun and fired 6 rounds out the window. The Miami Herald reports Jeffrey Piccolella, 27, and Nicholas Anthony Puccio, 25, were arrested and charged with criminal mischief and use of a firearm while under the influence. And that's just from the past few days. Literally every week, there's a deluge of more TSA perverts and criminals. You know, 3 more outstanding reasons I just listed there for airports to take advantage of these this recently passed law, which allows them to evict TSA screeners and hire their own private security. Finally, the quote of the day. This comes from Michael Crichton. Whenever you hear the consensus of scientists agree on something or other, reach for your wallet because you're being had. Tale of caution there for global warming alarmists and their hordes of believers. We're going to go to break now, and we're going to play the INFOWARS reporter contest ad. So be sure to get more information on that and jump on board. Then we're going to go to an interview with Horiam Maysan, the Infowars.com writer, about eugenics, Agenda 21, and a number of other subjects. And at the end of the show, we've got those interviews with Joe Arpaio and the Cold Case Posse regarding the Obama birther issue. So stay tuned.
Announcing our biggest contest ever. And we're looking for people who love freedom and who want to be all in the resistance to tyrants. So you say you want to fight the New World Order. Why, if you were on the radio, if you were Alex Jones, you'd really kick some globalist ass. Well, here's your chance. We're hiring not 1, but 2 new reporters, whose reports are going to be on the radio, whose reports are going to be on the nightly news, who will even anchor the show. If you're ready, here's your chance to step into my shoes, and I hope you surpass what I've done. 2 winners, $10,000 in prizes, and a shot to be a reporter inside the Infowars.com command center. We're looking to hire 1 male reporter and 1 female reporter. And when you win $5,000. Your video gets seen by hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people on YouTube, and you get put into the very front of the running to be hired as a reporter/anchor right here in our operation. Do you have what it takes to be the next Info Warrior? The rules are posted below me here and at Infowars.com. This is a big deal. You know, the globalists are expanding their global empire, but at the same time, the people are waking up all over the world. We've expanded our operations in the last year. We've added the nightly news 5 nights a week. We're making more special reports. We're reaching 15 million people every week. In a year, I want that to be 30 million. This is your chance to join the team. I want to see what you can do. But a big hint is this. Can your news piece make the news? Does it get people's attention? Does it educate people? Does it open minds? That's more important than being beautiful or speaking with perfect eloquence as an orator. All of that is important. But we're looking for people that have that magic spark, that fire of liberty in their heart, because I want you to join our team. I want to give you a launch pad so you can really take off and engage the globalist. And if this works, we'll have contests all the time, and we'll continue to build this operation. I'm involved in a talent search, looking for people who have the fires of liberty burning in their hearts and their minds. You've got until April 30th to complete your news report, and then we'll announce the winners 1 week later. Are you going to join the info war? Do you have what it takes? It's up to you. All serious entries will be posted on INFOWARS.com. So everybody wins. You're getting the message of liberty out, and that's what really matters. But in the final equation, it's not about showing Alex Jones what you got. It's about showing the world and the globalist that no army can stop an idea whose time has come. Join me in the info war. So you say you want to fight the info war. You say you want to go head up against the New World Order. You can do a better job than Alex Jones? I know you can. And here's your chance to prove your mettle.
Welcome back to InfoWars Nightly News. And on the subject of that InfoWars reporter contest, which you just saw an ad for, there's a new update article regarding that. Also more information about the submissions process. So I really encourage you to get involved with that. And who knows, you could be appearing on this very show in the not too distant future. Now, I'm delighted to welcome a regular and much valued contributor to Infowars.com and an expert really in the field of Agenda 21 and the neo-eugenics population control movement. And that is Jorian Maysan. Jorian, welcome to Infowars Nightly News.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Now, first off, for people who don't know, just tell the viewers about yourself and how you got into writing about these subjects.
Well, I actually started out by writing a book with a friend of mine. It's called The Secret of Zionsburg. And, well, it's actually about the royal family of Holland, the Oranges, Queen Beatrix being the current day exponent of the entire facade. And while doing research on that subject, I, of course, came to know the habits of eugenics by the elite, and that's the Saxe-Coburg-Gotha families, which are spread throughout Europe. Also the UK, of course, changing their name to Windsor. And in Holland, that's also by Prince Bernhard, important influence in regards to the whole eugenics agenda that's being pushed by the elite of the royalty of Europe. So that's how I rolled